Hey guys, we're looking at your 1.4 Khan Academy homework assignment, solve for an angle in right triangles. Let's go. All right, let's see what's happening here. If you didn't gather it by now, I think one of the biggest key ideas with trig is always annotating and marking up your figure with trig and geometry. So very first thing we want to do is observe what's happening, and then we will be annotating, marking up the figure. So that's why Khan Academy is really nice, because it has this draw button at the very bottom where you can click and annotate directly on your assignment. Okay, so we are asked to find, it should be the measure of angle A. Measure, because we want the specific degree, the measure of angle A. And we're going to see what we're given. So let's see. So looking at this angle here, this is angle A. So if we take our flashlight, we're in that corner, shining our light from that corner. That's going to give us our opposite side. The side directly across from the 90-degree angle is our hypotenuse. It's the longest side also, which remains our adjacent side. You might recall SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. This is our acronym to help us remember these trig ratios. So we're looking, and we're only given hypotenuse and adjacent. So we can just ignore opposite for now. We're scanning, we're looking for basically an A and an H. So which one has an A and an H? So an A and an H, cosine. So setting this up, we're going to say the cosine of, this is our unknown, so we're going to call it theta, or you could say cosine of A, is equal to adjacent divided by the hypotenuse, which is 7. All right, and we are trying to solve for theta. We want to know what theta equals, so we need to get rid of this cosine. I know it's very tempting to divide both sides by cosine, but that would not work. In order to do the inverse operation, right, it always has to be the opposite. So if we're adding, right, the opposite is subtraction. If we're multiplying, we're going to divide both sides. So to do the opposite of a trig function is called the inverse function. They're called the inverse trig function. So we're going to take the inverse of cosine, and we're going to apply that to both sides of the equation. What that's going to do is the inverse of cosine cancels out with cosine, which is what we wanted, right? We wanted it to be gone, leaving us with theta, our unknown, is now equal to, writing this out, it's the inverse cosine of 4/7. There is a calculator, so we have to toggle through it. So we'll go to inverse cosine of 4 divided by 7. And that will give us, what did it say to round to? Round to the nearest hundredth. So hundredth is the second decimal place. So next door is a 0. So 15, oh my goodness. Here's 15.15, I believe. Yeah, here it is, 15.15. I think I was moving numbers around somehow. 15.15. So theta equals 15.15. Not 15. Did I say 15? 55. Yeah, I was like, 15 seems too small. 55.15. That's why we were going to double check. 55. 55. Here we go. Okay, we're just going to confirm 55.15. Yep, that looks good. We check. Hooray! We did it. All right, and we're going to apply same principle for all the other problems. We're going to get our highlighter ready, our flashlight. We see a question mark at angle A. They're asking us for the measure of angle A, what that degree is to the nearest hundredth. So we're going to take that flashlight, we're going to shine the light to the opposite side. This is our opposite side. And we're going to start always by labeling our figure, labeling our figure, with our trig ratios, trig functions. So what is across from The right triangle is hypotenuse. What's left over? Adjacent. Again, we're always using SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. And hypotenuse doesn't matter because they did not give us a measurement for that side. So we're looking just at opposite and adjacent. So O and A with SOHCAHTOA, we're looking for an acronym with O and A. So tangent. So writing this out, we'll have tangent of, this is our unknown we're trying to solve. So tangent of theta or tangent of A is equal to opposite 9 over the adjacent 3. We want to get tangent by itself, but we need to use that inverse trig function. Need to do the inverse to both sides to undo this tangent. We're going to take the inverse tangent of both sides. So apply inverse tangent. They will cancel, which is our goal all along. We'll get theta is equal to the inverse tangent of 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is, we can simplify that. Hold up. Just 3. Inverse tangent of 3. So inverse tangent of 9 divided by 3, right, which is just 3. Oh, we need to end close parenthesis. So rounding to the second decimal place, we look next door, 5 or more, up the score. 4 or less, let it rest. This is a 5 or more, so we will be upping the score. So we're going to increase it by just one number. So 71.57. 71.57. So theta equals 71.57 degrees. That would be our final answer. And we'll check. Hooray! All right. So use this video to complete the last 2 problems on your homework. And as always, if you guys have any questions, let me know. All right. Hope this helped. Bye, guys.